All right, hey friends, fans, it's Habs tonight. I'm James Black here with Annik, and we are broadcasting. I'm broadcasting from the airport. I'm on my way to the Western world here from Toronto Pearson, and Annik's still in where she lives. I don't want to tell you exactly where she lives, just that it's where a Canadiens fan lives. So I've said Canucks because I'm going to Vancouver, but Annik, we wanted to jump on real quick today because obviously we haven't done a few post games. I think the mood has been a little down.
Yeah,
it's safe to say. And we're trying to find some silver linings throughout this early season. It's still early, but I think what we want to do today is just diagnose some of the issues around the team, maybe talk about some of the things that are buzzing in the Habs community around, potential moves and other shakeups. And I don't know, maybe we can leave with some hope at the end of this. So where do we want to start? We just coming off of Saturday's game, up 20-1 shots after the first period, up 2 goals. Suzuki to volley score. Everything's looking good. And then it completely falls apart. 5-3, I think we lost.
Yeah.
And as you like to say, it was a poop show, right? And
yeah.
So how did you feel after that game, like as far as just where the prospects of the season could be headed after that performance?
So if I'm basing it off just of Saturday, I thought it was still a good game. There was a lot of positive to take away from it. We came out and dominated a first period. Something that we have trouble doing from the start, right, is we start slow or we start awful. We came out strong, got 2 goals in, dominating in shots. You could see that Robin Leonard was just giving massive rebounds. Boys were all up in it, and it was fine until they get a power play and they score that first goal. I feel like this is a reoccurring issue. As soon as a team scores 1 goal, boys are gripping their sticks. They're starting to freak out, and it just goes downhill from there. So I think the issue is, how do we get less paranoid maybe? How do we play our game and keep it simple? It feels like we're overcomplicating things, overthinking them, and just trying to get the perfect play. Get in front of the net, get some greasy goals, and just go back to basics is what I feel should be done for now.
Yeah, the PK has been terrible, and it was our claim to fame late last season. So I don't know where the identity changed there. Obviously, there's been some pieces that have come in and out of the lineup, but do you think with the coaching system and the people on the bench that this thing wouldn't have fallen off so dramatically? But here we are. We're really suffering when we give up the penalties, and sometimes bad penalties.
Yeah, I mean, we're giving off, again, like there's some cheap calls, of course, that's everywhere, but there are some questionable calls where it's guys need to be more disciplined and not give out so many power plays to the other teams where you know that your penalty kill is not strong enough to defend. Our defense is having a lot of trouble this year. You've seen guys like Chris Nyland who are posting photos on Twitter of 3 guys stuck together saying, this is not soccer, guys, it's hockey. Ooh. I don't know what's going on with what the boys are doing defensively. David Savard is really, really having a rough start to the season. Jeff Petry, you see him being so angry on the ice, slamming doors, screaming at the coaches. He's not himself. He's playing a very, very selfish game, I find. You see guys that are wide open. He's still not passing, and he's shooting on another stick or another guy. If we had $1 for every time Jeff Petry shot on a defenser, we'd be rich.
So can I just jump in on that one real quick? I know because you're getting riled up. No, so it's particularly on Jeff Petry, who we love. Obviously, he was expected to be the heir apparent here to lead the defense, right? And here we are, and you're mentioning all these things, which the photographic evidence is in place. It's hard to watch. Perhaps this is just a matter, and I'd love to get Dale's perspective, but is this just maybe that the shoes were hard to fill, and because Shea was such a critical component of anchoring that defense that it's a 1 of 1. You can't just bring another great player like Jeff in there to fill that role, because he was number 2. He was a great number 2. Now we're putting him in the number 1 slot, and this might have changed him for the wrong way. Like, is that what it is? It's just not the right role for him to be leading a defense in this manner, or the pressure's too much? I don't know.
I'm going to disagree with that statement just for the fact that Jeff Petry's been put in that position more than once before with Shea Weber out of the lineup for a significant amount of time. So this is not new to him. He's used to being a leader. He's used to putting up those big games, those big points. So you've seen what he's capable of. So that's why I think it's just frustrating to see him play this way, because that he's a high caliber player. Did you drop beer on yourself?
Not yet.
Okay.
That's just a battery.
No, you see that he's capable of doing it. He's been put in that position more than once. So just watching him play this way that's what's frustrating for us, is that he's able to do better. And he said it himself, I'm overthinking it. But you still don't see him taking the steps of putting his game into a basic type of thing. So I don't know what's going on in Jeff Petry's head. Should he be moved back? A lot of people are saying he should be sat down. Like, I don't know what it's going to take for Jeff Petry. I personally don't think that sitting him down is going to change anything. He's not that type of player, So
yeah, I'm a big proponent of, if you are in the league and you are a consistent performer in that league, and if you struggle, you got to play through stuff. So let's just touch on Cole for a second. So he got moved to Laval. I was actually a big fan of keeping him in the system and just letting him work it out as a pro. I think when you bounce people up and down, it kind of, and I guess he's young enough that this shouldn't be such a big problem. But with veterans, certainly you don't want to sit them too long. It creates a new level of anxiety. So I would say that, for Cole, we haven't seen much of him yet in Laval. But what did you agree with that move, putting him down? I know you guys touched on it, but with a few days hindsight now, was that the right call, seeing some of the other people they brought in, like Pizzetta, who you love? I know you love.
Yeah, I've been a Pizzetta fan since day one, but I'm more than okay with Cole being moved down to Laval. You see the team is not in a right mindset right now. They're in a slump. It's a team with no identity, no communication. They've got no visuals on what they're doing. They're just lost. So I'm more than okay seeing a guy like Cole Caufield being sent down to Laval. Find your game, be in a winning mentality with the boys. He's going to play some top minutes. He's playing with Paling. I mean, I know they lost 4-0 yesterday. It was his first game with Laval, but you still saw Paling creating high chances for Cole Caufield. He's going to find his game, play some good minutes, and then he's going to come back up. He's going to be fine. He's still young. I think we're learning also from the Kotkaniemi shit show that happened. He got brought down to, at some point, got brought up too early. So
prematurely,
I'm more than okay with it. And a guy like Corey Perry reaches out to Cole Caufield afterwards to tell him it's not a demotion. You're not being penalized for anything. It's part of the game. Go play your game. Keep it simple. He's going to come back up, and I'm not even worried about it.
Yeah, he seemed to accept it, and he had the support around the league in that move. So that's cool. Well, okay. I mean, we talked about the Canadiens' world-famous player development system. I don't want to get negative. It's just one of those things where, like, you go, okay, is this the right move? Nick Suzuki, I'm going to bring in a positive for a second before we end on some other stuff. Obviously, the best player on the team at this point. Had a bit of a slow start, scored again, got a couple goals. The assists are showing up on the score sheet. He's doing, I think, as much as we could expect him to do in this scenario. He's leading by example. Now, I mean, is there anything you want to say about Nick's game, or anything that caught your eye about how he's playing over the last few games, especially? He's averaging 1.5 or 2 points a game now in the last 3 or 4 games. I haven't done the math. I'm not looking at the score sheet, but I do know, just looking at the box score every night, he seems to be showing up now.
He's 12 points in 13 games, if I'm not mistaken. So he's Gallagher said it countless times. He's your quiet leader, and he's so young that he's not the type of guy that you expect to stand up in the room and lead. So he's leading by example on the ice. I absolutely love Nick Suzuki's game, and I love the fact that he called himself out after the Anaheim game, saying, this was my worst game. I'm not playing well. I need to do better. Scores next game and the game after. So is this something that the other guys kind of need to do, is model Nick's thing of call yourselves out and then show the progress on the ice? Maybe.
Yeah. Puts the onus on you big time. I mean, you go out there publicly and go, like, I didn't play well enough. I'm now going to go out there and prove everyone that he's not on that big contract yet, but there's no better time to start than now to earn into it. But I mean, look, he's a good leader, and I think it goes back to our earlier discussion about, at some point, I think he gets the A. I just think or a C rather. I think that's there's too many A's on the team, by the way. He gets 6. I know.
Jeez.
Not sure I agree with that one too. That's like too many cooks
it's
situation.
A little too much. Yeah.
Who's
Chiefs, little Indians, and it's.
But can you, with 6 people wearing the A, and Nick's a quiet guy, who is going to be speaking up in that locker room right now? Who's the one who's being vocal, you think, and actually trying to run those players only meetings? Is it him, or is it someone else? That's what I want to know.
See, obviously, we're not in the room. We don't know what's going on in closed door meetings. That's something we're going to touch with Dale tomorrow, is a player's aspect of it. But if we're just speculating here, obviously, one guy that's going to be standing up is probably Gallagher at this point. He's the only person who I can think of, except for, let's say, Paul Byron would be another guy that would stand up. Is Paul Byron still behind closed doors, even though he's injured? We don't know that.
Yeah.
So maybe it could be useful to have a guy like Paul Byron step in and give a speech or just motivate the guys. I would expect Jeff Petry to be one of those guys. We don't know what's going on again behind closed doors. Is he already that guy? High possibility. You've got a guy like Jake Allen, who is still one of the veterans in the room. He's got a lot of experience on the ice. Jeff Allen. Wow. Jake Allen could be standing up. I don't know.
No, I know it's tough.
Josh Anderson.
We're not in
Josh
there.
Anderson leads on the ice too, so we're not behind closed doors to see who's standing up right now. But if I'm speculating for anybody, it's I would assume Suzuki, Gallagher, Petry, Allen, maybe.
Yeah.
But could be completely wrong here. I could be in the field.
Yeah. And, there's only so many players-only meetings you can have until something else has to change, which will be my last question for you, which is, at some point, because Ducharme was brought in as an interim coach and had some success late last year, he can't be given all the credit for that. Is he now in the hot seat? Is this something where you go, okay, system-wide throughout the Habs organization, he was probably the logical next guy, but they never actually put out a job tender. They didn't actually search for someone. Is this a situation where maybe the coach, isn't in the right position now to succeed, and maybe he's not the guy to be there? And I don't think I don't feel too strongly about this one personally, but I want to know how you feel if he should be on the hot seat.
I personally don't think so. If you take a look at it with the books and logically, you're still paying a guy like Claude Julien $5 million per year, okay? And then you've got Dom Ducharme, who just signed a 3-year contract, Luke Richardson, who just signed a 3-year contract. So if you were to clear the bench, that's coming out of your own pockets. So if you're going to go for the rebuild, if you're going to go to clear the bench, I mean, you're going to have to buckle up and do it. Clear the bench, clear Timmins, clear everybody if you're going to have to do it. But right now, I don't think that's the answer, because that's not going to solve anything right now. Maybe in the long run, it will help us, and that's how you rebuild. But as of right now, I don't think that Dom Ducharme is a problem. Has he made some questionable calls, like pulling a goalie before you have possession in the other game? Yes. I still don't get that one. He's made some questionable calls here and there. Yes. But I still don't think that he's in a hot seat. Is he feeling the pressure? Maybe. You can see that his patience is just running out and he's starting to get pissed off, which could be good. A pissed off coach, I mean, why not? But at this point, personally, I'm not firing Dominique Ducharme. I'm giving him the chance to see how everything settles down. If you finish last in the league and then you get a possible coach that's available, maybe you revisit the option. But right now, for me, not an option.
Yeah, exactly. And with Marc Bergevin, basically, my guess is he's gone after the season. It's going to be a situation for the Molsons to look at and reevaluate where they are with the rebuild, the transition from a veteran team to a young team, and whether they have the coaching staff and the front office staff to carry them through that next generation. So we're in transition. So that's, I guess, actually my real last question to you, Annik, is what are fans' real expectations? We're about a month into the season now. Give or take, like where should we peg things? We know after a certain point, I guess U.S. Thanksgiving, if you're not in the playoffs, statistically your odds of getting in are pretty damn low. So should we basically look at this as a development year, or is there some shred of hope here that when Carey comes back, we win a bunch of games and all of a sudden we're back in the mix?
I'm not going to put the pressure on Carey Price, because yes, he's been considered our Lord and Savior for years, but Carey Price is coming back from such an important break mentally for him that we don't know how he's going to perform, and the pressure shouldn't be on him to make this team better or to win us games. It should be a team effort right now. I do have a shred of hope. I know it's 12 games in, guys. It's hard to be positive. Every time there's a little bit of positivity, it just goes right back down. But I'm going to leave you with this, is that Habsitivity. There's a reason why we keep saying it. I know we might be in the field and it might just go to shit, but I'm going to leave you with this. The St. Louis Blues in 2019, was it 2019 they won, or 2018? Anyways, in January, were in dead last and ended up winning the Stanley Cup. Nothing is impossible You are able to come back. You are able to win. I know it's a long shot. Call me crazy. Do whatever you want. But as long as there's a little bit of hope, I'm going to keep the Habsivity going and think that maybe we can turn this around. It could be one key game, one key play, one key goal. It could turn around. So
how many more games do we have against Detroit? Sorry to cut you.
Next week, we're playing in Detroit. So if we can keep playing Detroit for 82 games, we are winning the cup, you guys.
Yes. Well, our goal differential will be like 1,000,000 to nothing. It is. Yeah. Okay, well, sorry to cut you off there. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, we're going to keep bringing.
That's my share of positive for the day.
No, hey, you got to stay positive. It's a bright, sunny day where I am, and I'm gonna keep that way mentally. So, with that, I guess the next big thing for us is hopefully Dale gets on. He's got some comments about the Kyle Beach situation. Can't wait to hear what he has to say. I mean, that situation has just been absolutely gut churning, and from someone who's actually knows Kyle and played with him a bit, from my understanding. Mm-hmm. Probably some interesting stories there. Also, someone who played in the Chicago organization or was there for a bit of a pit stop. So, Annik, we'll keep trying to bring the heat as much as we can. And thank you for watching. Subscribe if you are watching us for the first time. If not, hit that like button. Comment below. Do you agree with what we're saying today, or have other things you want us to chat about? We'll definitely be here on Habs Tonight to dissect as much as we can when we're in the right frame of mind. But I got to go catch a flight, and I know you got stuff to do. So I'm going to wish you a good day. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and we'll see you soon.
Safe flight to you.
Cheers,
guys.
All right, bye.